In the mid-19th century, the United States was a nation driven by expansion, ambition, and destiny. The idea of manifest destiny, the belief that America was destined by God to expand its territory from the Atlantic to the Pacific, had captured the imagination of millions. But this grand vision would soon ignite one of the most transformative and controversial wars in North American history. The Mexican-American War, fought between 1846 and 1848. This was not just a battle over land. It was a clash of nations, ideologies, and identities. On one side stood a young, rising power, the United States of America, eager to grow and assert itself. On the other stood Mexico, a proud but struggling republic defending its sovereignty and territory. The outcome of this war would redraw the map of North America forever. To understand why this war began, we must go back to Texas. Texas had once been part of Mexico, but after a rebellion in 1836, it declared independence and became the Republic of Texas. The famous Battle of the Alamo and the victory at San Jacinto turned Texas into a symbol of defiance and freedom, but also a region of tension between Mexico and the United States. Mexico refused to recognize Texas's independence, insisting it was still part of Mexican territory. Yet in 1845, under the presidency of James K. Polk, the United States formally annexed Texas, making it the 28th state of the Union. This act infuriated the Mexican government, which saw it as an open act of aggression. President Polk was an ardent believer in manifest destiny. He dreamed of extending American territory all the way to the Pacific Ocean, including California and New Mexico, both under Mexican control. But diplomacy failed, and tensions along the border escalated quickly. At the heart of the conflict was a simple question. Where exactly did Texas end and Mexico begin? The United States claimed the Rio Grande River as the southern boundary of Texas, while Mexico insisted it was the Nueces River, about 150 miles north. This disputed strip of land became a powder keg waiting for a spark. In March 1846, President Polk ordered General Zachary Taylor to march American troops into the disputed area between the two rivers. Taylor, known for his calm but firm leadership, set up camp near the Rio Grande, effectively provoking a response. The response came swiftly. On April 25, 1846, Mexican cavalry crossed the Rio Grande and attacked a U.S. patrol, killing and capturing several soldiers. When word reached Washington, Polk declared, "American blood has been shed on American soil." On May 13, 1846, the United States officially declared war on Mexico. The conflict had begun. General Zachary Taylor, commanding about 3,500 troops, faced a much larger Mexican force under General Mariano Arista. Despite being outnumbered, Taylor's army, equipped with superior artillery and discipline, won decisive victories at the Battle of Palo Alto, May 8, 1846, and the Battle of Resaca de la Palma, May 9, 1846. These early victories boosted American morale and demonstrated the effectiveness of new field artillery, including light mobile cannons and smoothbore muskets that gave the U.S. forces a technological advantage. Mexican troops, though brave and determined, often suffered from poor supply lines, outdated weaponry, and political instability at home. By September 1846, Taylor's army captured Monterrey, and his reputation as a national hero began to grow, a fame that would later help him become President of the United States. While Taylor fought in northern Mexico, another front was opening in the west. In California, American settlers had long been restless under Mexican rule. Inspired by the spirit of expansion, they launched what became known as the Bear Flag Revolt in June 1846, declaring California an independent republic. Soon after, U.S. naval forces arrived, raising the American flag over key coastal cities like Monterrey and San Francisco. At the same time, Colonel Stephen W. Kearny led a long and grueling march from Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, through the deserts of New Mexico, capturing Santa Fe without resistance. He then pushed on toward California, helping secure the region under American control. By the end of 1846, the United States held most of northern Mexico and was advancing steadily southward. Yet Mexico refused to surrender. The war was far from over. Mexico in the 1840s was politically fragile. Since gaining independence from Spain in 1821, the nation had endured constant revolutions, coups, and internal conflicts. During the war, Mexico saw multiple changes in leadership, and the return of one of its most controversial figures, General Antonio López de Santa Anna, the same leader who had fought at the Alamo a decade earlier. Santa Anna promised to defend Mexico's honor and repel the American invasion. But his leadership was marked by internal divisions, logistical problems, and lack of resources. Mexican soldiers fought with courage, often with limited ammunition, poor training, and outdated muskets, while their American counterparts enjoyed better organization and supplies. By early 1847, President Polk devised a bold new strategy. Instead of continuing the slow northern advance, he ordered General Winfield Scott, a seasoned and disciplined commander, to launch a direct assault on the Mexican heartland. Scott's army of about 12,000 men landed at the port of Veracruz in March 1847, marking the first large-scale amphibious assault in U.S. military history. Using naval bombardments and coordinated troop landings, the Americans captured Veracruz after a 20-day siege. From there, Scott began a dangerous march toward Mexico City, nearly 260 miles inland. Along the way, his troops faced fierce resistance from Mexican forces led by Santa Anna. The Battle of Cerro Gordo, April 1847, was one of the bloodiest clashes of the campaign. Despite Santa Anna's strong defensive position, Scott's tactical brilliance, including a surprise flanking maneuver, led to another American victory. The road to Mexico City was open. The Mexican-American War marked a transition between old and new styles of warfare. American troops used flintlock muskets, Model 1841 rifles, Napoleon field guns, and artillery batteries with better range and accuracy than their Mexican counterparts. The U.S. also benefited from improved military logistics, telegraph communication, and steam-powered ships that helped move supplies and reinforcements faster. Mexican forces, though skilled horsemen and courageous fighters, relied heavily on muzzle-loading muskets, lances, and sabers, reflecting the traditional European-style warfare of earlier decades. The war's battles were often brutal, with heavy casualties on both sides, not only from combat but from disease, especially yellow fever and dysentery, which claimed thousands of lives. By August 1847, General Scott's army approached the gates of Mexico City, the grand capital built on the ancient Aztec city of Tenochtitlan. The final phase of the war would be fought here, among the hills, fortresses, and streets of one of the world's most historic cities. The Americans first fought at the Battle of Contreras, August 19th to 20th, and Churubusco, August 20th, where they defeated Santa Anna's forces despite fierce resistance. Next came Molino del Rey, September 8, 1847, one of the bloodiest engagements of the war, with hundreds dead on both sides. Finally, on September 12th to 13th, American troops assaulted Chapultepec Castle, a fortress guarding the western approach to the city. Chapultepec was defended by a group of brave young Mexican cadets, the Niños Héroes, who fought to the death rather than surrender. Their heroism became a symbol of national pride in Mexico's history. On September 14, 1847, American troops entered Mexico City. The war's major fighting was over. The U.S. flag flew over the National Palace, a moment that stunned the world. After months of negotiation, the war officially ended with the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, signed on February 2, 1848. Under the treaty's terms, Mexico recognized the Rio Grande as the southern border of Texas and ceded vast territories, including California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming, to the United States. In return, the U.S. agreed to pay Mexico $15 million and assume certain American claims against the Mexican government. Though the payment offered some compensation, Mexico had effectively lost half of its national territory. The Mexican-American War reshaped North America in profound ways. For the United States, it was a triumph of expansion and military power. The nation gained over 500,000 square miles of new territory, nearly one-third of its present land area. This victory fulfilled the dream of manifest destiny, stretching the American Republic from the Atlantic to the Pacific. However, the war also reignited deep national divisions. The new territories raised urgent questions. Would slavery expand into these new lands? This debate would soon lead the nation toward another, even bloodier conflict, the American Civil War. For Mexico, the war was a devastating loss. It shattered national pride, weakened political stability, and left deep scars that shaped Mexican identity for generations. Yet out of defeat emerged resilience, the birth of modern Mexican nationalism and the enduring memory of those who fought to defend their homeland. The Mexican-American War remains one of the most controversial in American history. Critics at the time, including a young congressman named Abraham Lincoln and writer Henry David Thoreau, condemned it as an unjust war of aggression aimed at expanding slavery. Thoreau's protest led him to write his famous essay, Civil Disobedience. Yet, from a geopolitical perspective, the war transformed the continent. It gave rise to cities like Los Angeles, San Diego, and San Francisco, and opened the path for America's emergence as a global power in the decades to come. For Mexico, the Niños Héroes of Chapultepec became eternal symbols of bravery, and the war became a reminder of the need for unity and strength in the face of foreign aggression. The Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848, was more than a battle of soldiers and nations. It was a turning point in history. It redefined borders, reshaped identities, and altered the destiny of two great nations forever. From the Rio Grande to the halls of Chapultepec, from the deserts of New Mexico to the shores of California, this war forged the modern North America we know today. Its echoes still resonate in the culture, politics, and shared histories of both Mexico and the United States. And though the cannons have long fallen silent, the lessons of the war, about ambition, conflict, and the price of destiny, remain as powerful as ever. And that was the story of the Mexican-American War, a conflict that reshaped the map of North America and changed the destiny of two great nations forever. History reminds us that every border has a story, and every victory has a cost. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to support our channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new episode of history brought to life. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.